So what do you think of the current situation in Eritrea now?
Intriguing is the word that comes to mind to students of history and politics. Fascinating. Here is a man who led a liberation struggle in the military sense brilliantly, organized and mobilized the Eritreans of both communities, Christian and Muslim, highlanders and lowlanders, and united them in an effort, extraordinary effort, to liberate a country against heavy odds. And then he proceeds literally to destroy what he created. That has been something I have not been able to understand. Some people give it some kind of expression of their vindication because of what they had said, that this man had been from the very beginning an agent of foreign powers, including Ethiopia, the CIA, and the Mossad of Israel. I never believed that before, but it's very difficult not to believe it now. Because what he has done is he has destroyed Eritrea, destroyed families, destroyed communities, divided people against each other on religious, ethnic basis. And then in the end, having for almost 20 years argued that the Wayanes, the Tigrayas, were trying to destroy Eritrea, and therefore mobilized our youth, sent them to the desert for years in defense of such a threat, is now celebrating Ethiopia, celebrating unity. Now, the Ethiopian Prime Minister surprised us all. I was one of the first to accept him with great enthusiasm, with great pleasure. I even told him what you are doing is wonderful, exciting, and I will pray for you, for your success, you know. And he now embraces a man who leads a moderately democratic state, such as it is. He presents all his policies to Parliament, appointments of people and so on. And he believes in democracy. He believes in liberal democracy. He says he believes in one way. And then he embraces a man who actually is a dictator, who has imprisoned hundreds of thousands of people, not hundreds of thousands of people, and has kept our youth in the desert in defense of what you call defense against the Wayane. Young people who cannot marry, cannot take care of their families, who cannot study, in defense of something which is now turned out to be a false defense. And anybody who knew Isaias and who has seen his carousing with Ethiopians, with the Amharas, going to Addis Ababa, tumultuous reception of the people, warm reception on the face of it, and in Awasa, laughing hilariously. I have never seen Isaias laugh so happily, ever. I've known him. And then, of course, finally, he goes to Gondar, and this young, much younger Ethiopian prime minister, young enough to be his son, embraces him as his brother. And he says, there's the word in Amharic, madammer, which means unity of a kind. If Isaias and I are madammer, we are united, then we can share asab. And we know, of course, there have been all kinds of meetings and agreements signed on behalf of the Eritrean people, people who have suffered in 20 years of independence. Well, as a lawyer, as somebody dedicated to the idea of freedom and democracy and the right of people to determine their fate, this is a reversal of the worst kind. I don't know how to explain it. I just don't.
And where do you think we're going from here?
I don't know. I don't know. If we look at it from the Ethiopian point of view, Eritrea as a united country is gone. When people expected the border to be delineated and for Isaias and Abiy to celebrate that, nothing happened. When he asked about that, Isaias says, nonsense, we don't need any borders. A nation without a border is no nation. Borders define nations, which means really, literally, Eritrea has been offered to Ethiopia on a silver platter at the order of Isaias Afwerki. How the Eritrean people will react to this, what will happen when, not if, when Eritreans elect their own illegitimate representatives, what will happen to these agreements is an important question.